What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Report, and today let's talk about some anime that I feel desperately needs a reboot. First up is a series that I feel is very overlooked, and that is Bubblegum Crisis. Of course, we've already had a reboot of Bubblegum Crisis in 1998 with Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. However, I felt that overall as a series it could have been much better. Even though it had a longer episode count than the original, they didn't really do anything with the time that they had. Now that I think about it, really all they did with 2040 was just make it look better. We are in the year 2020. Take a series like Bubblegum Crisis right now, give it a brand new look, add lots of rockin' music to the OST that's more akin to the original 80s ballads or maybe even a more modern approach, and overall just add more modern to this series along with the longer episode count with what they tried to do with Tokyo 2040. And I think you have all the tools you need to have a serviceable reboot with this series. Plus, Bubblegum Crisis has strong female characters. That's always a plus and a thumbs up, especially right now. Bubblegum Crisis is a story of the Night Sabers, a group of ladies in armored suits who fight to protect the bleak future against the rogue industrial androids made for labor called Boomers. Yeah, I see the jokes and memes coming a mile away if this ever got a reboot. I highly recommend checking out the original 80s over the late 90s version though, at least for the soundtrack alone, because it is phenomenal. The timing for a reboot for Bubblegum Crisis right now will just be perfect. We need a true cyberpunk anime, and I think it will be the one that can step up to the plate. Next on our list is a fan favorite demand, Soul Eater. Fans have been clamoring for a reboot of Soul Eater for years. Let's face it, the ending was trash. It was abrupt, it was cheesy, and it gave little resolution to the series' overall plot. Plus the second half was getting a little bit sloppy. That and you can just feel that at the time they were really putting in a lot of anime original content because they had caught up with the manga. With the manga now complete, we hope every day that we just get closer and closer to that announcement. However, as the years go by, it just seems like that window keeps closing. Soul Eater had everything it needed to be a hit. It had a unique style and world, it had a likable cast of characters, and it had a strong storyline. Now of course Bones has My Hero Academia to carry it through an entire generation if it wanted to, but if they got involved with the return of Soul Eater again, they could really flex their muscle by fulfilling the dream of the Soul Eater Brotherhood version that we all hope and pray for every day. You can just hear the popularity of this going through the roof. Let's make it happen. The next series on my list is Claymore. Claymore is one of those series that if the timing was right, it would have been a huge success. Imagine if this series got the continuation or the reboot it deserved in the 2010s, along with Attack on Titan and Fate Stay Night when their hype trains were really starting. This dark, gritty action series has all the tools it needs to excel even further now than it did in the early emo years of anime when it was released. Set in a world where monsters known as Yoma terrorize and feast on humanity, Claymore is a story of Claire, a woman who was part of a group of half-human, half-Yoma hybrids responsible for protecting humanity. Claymore provides us with an all-female cast who all kick ass, and honestly, as I mentioned back with Bubblegum Crisis, a series with strong female leads is just a breath of fresh air we need right now, especially in this anime that's dominated by the isekai world. The manga for Claymore had a pretty substantial run going from 2001 to 2014, and the anime came along in 2007, but it only had one season. That gave us less than half of the full series that was even adapted at the time, and because of that, Claymore left us with an unsatisfactory ending and severely out of place anime original content in its final arc with the last 3 episodes. A return to this compelling and controversial demon world would be a blessing for dark fantasy fans. Hell, we may even be able to get Madhouse on it again since, unlike back in that time, they actually make season 2s. Either way, this needs to happen. And the last series on my list? No, it's not Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is perfect and it doesn't need to be rebooted. We can revisit that at another time. The last series on my list is Tokyo Ghoul. This one may be a little bit far-fetched because it just ended, but let's be honest, Tokyo Ghoul as an anime just didn't focus on the psychological aspect that the manga had. And it only gave us small glimpses of the psychological torment that Kaneki also faced. The manga though, That was a straight free fall into madness. And yeah, Kaneki's a sociopath. I mean like Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho crazy, but a crazy that you can side with if that makes sense. Add to the fact that we didn't even get the true ending to part 1 animated, Route A was a mess, and the adaptation of Re was a bigger train wreck than any of us could have imagined. And to make matters worse, that one catered more to being a battle shonen than the last 2 seasons, instead of the psychological battle that we were supposed to get with this series that manga fans loved about it. If they can manage to fix all of that and do a point-to-point adaptation, a Tokyo Ghoul Brotherhood if you will, because come on, we know that's the term for reboot now. Tokyo Ghoul could capture the magic that the fan base knows it for, and as for one of the best psychological trips ever, it definitely deserves it. And that's it for my list of anime that I feel needs a reboot, until next time at least. So be sure to let me know some of your favorites in the comments below, and I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. So as I always say, if you guys liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and be sure to hit the bell as well so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new feature. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you should always listen to me, and I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.